Well, if you're like me, what you see here is an opportunity. This looks like all future members of my squad. And over here, we have our processing center for all members of our squad. And we get attacked by Band of Bones, by Black Dragon Ninjas, by Hungry Bandits, by Dust Bandits. So I can keep these cages just as full as I want. Obviously, I mean, 50, 60 guys here. I think we had a 40-man Hungry Bandit raid, followed by a large Dust Bandit raid just now. You can see there's still a guy alive there. So I can go out there and grab just as many of them as I want. Put them in cages. I have the prisoner mod, recruit all prisoners. So it's just a matter of convincing these guys to join. And they're part of my team. And I'm going to show you how I did it because this seems to be where everybody stops. So I'm going to switch back to the UI. Grab anybody. Make sure they're disarmed, but I'll make sure this guy's disarmed, and then I'll talk to him. All right, no weapons. Black Dragon Ninja. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to say 1. I'm going to say 2. Keep in mind these can change, but this will always be here, but you'll have 1 to 3 options, and you just need to pick the right one. The key with the Black Dragon Ninjas is to be respectful, and they still sometimes don't. And like that, the guy didn't do it. So what am I going to do? Well, just for the sake of this video, I'll reload. Ta-da. And I'll grab just another person. This time we'll grab Bonk. So I go talk to this guy. This time 1. This time is 1 again. This 1. And 2. And 2. 2, then 2, then 1, 3, 2, 1. Just pause whenever you want to look at these and get a closer look at what I'm doing. And then 3, and 1, and 1. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, that was terrible. That was forever. That was 30 seconds, and it would have been 10 seconds if I wasn't explaining it as I went. So then you have a male, so give him a guy's name. We'll call this guy Nick. Set him free. And I always do the same thing with these guys. I have kind of a system for getting them all set up. So first thing I do is Nick. Is I incinerate everything they have on them. So let me get rid of this because I already had something in there. This is my item furnace. So I incinerate it, right? Now I'm going to equip Nick, and Nick is going to be an archer, crossbowman. So give him a dust coat, some cloth armor, pants. I'll go over here to my heavy armor chest. Give him an iron hat because that gives him some perception. And I'm going to give him some plate boots. And then I need to give him a weapon, right? Well, I think right now the only weapon I have is pretty lame. But we'll send Nick over here to get it. I'm making crossbows. Since Barney's not at his station right now, I'm having to do this the hard way. I'm going to give him this shoddy old world Mark II bow. Now I still need to get him a weapon. There's Barney. Arnie, do you have any bolts? You do. So Arnie's going to give Nick some bolts. And now Nick just needs a sidearm weapon. And because of all these Black Dragon ninjas raiding my base, I have lots of Black Dragon ninja swords. And just like that, he's ready to go. And so what I'm going to do is move Nick from my Red Warden main group to my elite group. The reason I'm doing that is I'm building a team to go adventuring, and it's going to be a combination of a whole lot of crossbowmen, which you can see all these guys. I did the same thing I just did with Nick. Recruited them, re-equipped them, gave them a old world crossbow Mark II, some arrows, and then all these guys here are heavy armor. So here's Mo, samurai plate, mast helmet, leg plates, long boots, and a polearm. And polearms is just the theme I've gone with for this run through. So all these guys are equipped the same way. I have a Garru with lots of meat and foul raw meat, and that's from, you guess, killing the beak things. Yeah, there's a lot of beak things out here in Shem. This is a very standard base build that I do for Shem. You can watch. I have a video on how to build this, build something similar to it. And I built in a very prototypical place that I normally build, because every time I feel like going and building somewhere else, I end up back here. Now, not always, but I bet I've built here 5, 6 times, 7 times, something like that. And I put a lot of hours into it. But that's how I initially get started. Let's go to the next part. Okay, one thing I forgot to show about Nick is that I'm also going to give him a med kit. So there we go. And I usually buy these, but I haven't built a station yet to make our medical kits. So now he's pretty much ready to go. Now, the one thing that Nick is now missing, go back to my UI, is stats, right? So his crossbow skill is really low. His Black Dragon ninjas actually have really decent melee skills, so those are pretty good. But in the case of maybe a hungry bandit or a dust bandit that doesn't have these skills, maybe they have like a 1 or something like that in their skill, you don't want to put them in a group you've called elite and send them out to kill beak things. They'll just get slaughtered, right? So you need to raise their skills, and the best way I've found to do it is with this building I have over here. You notice it's out of the way. What's the purpose? Well, what do? What I do is I grab 6 guys that I maybe recently converted. So maybe it's these 6 right here. Nick, Gage, Melinda, Riley, Jackie, Gregor. Now, all of them are Black Dragon ninjas, so they don't really need this part. And then I'll have them come over here and pick up 6 of my guys in cages. Then, obviously this is being done with a lot of modding, guys, so I'll have a list of mods down in my description for you. What I have are training staffs. Training staffs is a mod. It's training weapons. So I have a bunch of them here. I have a bunch more right here. Why training staff? Because they're polearms, and polearms is kind of the theme that I have here. So especially with all of these guys here, like Mo, he has a 45 polearm. He did not have a 45 polearm when I recruited him. It was more in this 20 area, and I raised it up. And the way I did that is Mo grabbed one of these guys. You loot the guys, you put a staff on them, right? Just the same way you take a weapon off of them, put a training staff on them. Mo gets a training staff. I grab all the guys, I walk them through this gate, close this gate, bring them up to the roof, drop them. And so you got usually 5 or 6 guys right here with 5 or 6 of my guys that I've already recruited. So 6 recruited guys and 6 guys that are just coming straight from the prison cells. When they get up, you attack them. Those training weapons prevent any damage from getting through, so you're just infinitely attacking each other with no damage. And what happens is your weapon skills increase. And after a while of doing that, Look at that guy. He just got hammered trying to come through my front gate. I just love watching that. Pause for a moment. Yep. I know you're thinking, oh, you must have an army of guys to slaughter all that men down there. I have 2 crossbowmen. That's how effective this water is. You'll probably want more than a couple, because I do have quite a few guys down here. But if you line this with 4 or 5, these are regular crossbow turrets, nothing crazy, nothing like harpoons, even though I can build them. Harpoons tend to kill people, so I like to recruit them, so I don't use the harpoons. Anyway, sorry, squirrel moment. You train them for a good 15-20 minutes on, max speed, and your guys are ready to go. And then what do? You give all your guys that you've recruited back regular weapons, and so they end up taking out everybody on the roof that only has training weapons. Then you heal them up, stick them back in their cages, and then you recruit them. And now you've got guys not only that you recruited that have high stats, everybody in the cage that they were training against, they've also gained in skills. And so I end up training 12 guys, even though only 6 of them are currently in my squad. If that makes sense. That's how I get their skills up. And then at that point, they're pretty much ready to go. Now, the one thing that these crossbowmen don't have is actual crossbow skill, right? It's pretty low. This guy has a 3. Now, there are ways to get that up that are, kind of like a whole training regiment. And what I've seen is they'll take down a beak thing and not kill it. They'll heal it up, carry it, so obviously it can't attack you as long as you're carrying it. Take it to a destroyed building, say in the hub, one of those storm houses that are torn apart. They'll drop the beak thing inside of it. When the beak thing gets up, it can't get out. And you put a whole stack of crossbowmen on the outside aiming at it, but they can't actually shoot it because of the obstruction. And their skill just goes up like crazy. Now, I'm not sure I want to do that. I kind of like just the idea of sending all these guys out like this. And the reason I'm doing this, the whole point of having the crossbowmen and not just everybody in heavy armor, is there's a limit to how many people can attack at the same time. So even modded, 3 guys can attack like a beak thing, for instance. Three of your characters can attack a beak thing at the same time. Even though I have 11, 15 guys, something like that here, only 3 of them can attack. So the beak thing could be hitting 5 or 6 of your guys because they're all clumped together. But only 3 of your guys can actively attack the beak thing. However, with the crossbowmen, it's unlimited. So I can have 3 of these guys plus all 6 of my crossbowmen attacking at the same time. And that's going to just make for what I'm hoping is going to do is it's going to decimate the enemy that much faster. So that's why I'm doing this. What I plan on doing, like for Mo, is I'll hit the taunt. I don't know that I'm going to hit Blanc, even though it does increase your skill quite a bit. It does mean that he can't actually do damage at that point. And since he does have heavy armor, I'm probably just going to let him attack as normal, but be taunting, and then hopefully that keeps the beak things or any of the enemies, the dust bandits, black dragon, you name it, off of my crossbowmen, so my crossbowmen stand back and just hammer away. So that's the plan. Let's see how that works. Okay, I thought while I was doing this that maybe somebody wants to see how to recruit a Band of Bones member if you have the prisoner mod. And I didn't show that, so in case you're frustrated because you're like, oh, that's the guy I wanted to get, here's how you recruit the Band of Bones. You need a character with a strength that's higher than the Band of Bones that you're trying to recruit. So you see Band of Bones, his strength is 28, and he does have a minus 14, so his actual strength is a 42. And you can recruit them if they're wounded and you've lowered that, but it's not a guarantee. So it's much better to just have a character with a really high strength. So this character I have, it's not Hi-ya, it's Hi-ya, right? So he's my martial artist. and his strength is 47. So he has a higher strength than the Band of Bones. So that means, okay, that's what you need to recruit. I'm going to talk to the Band of Bones. First, I'm going to double check that he's disarmed. It's really frustrating if they're not disarmed because it resets the counter on. You got to wait a while before you can try it again. So, to talk to him now because I have done that, and this is super fast. It's always number 2. It says you can handle yourself in a fight. How about joining us? And he says, okay, and then he's like, okay, I'll follow a strong leader. Okay, we'll fight together, you and I. That's it. And you have a character. And this is a female, so give her a name. I'm going to name her Sandy. Hit confirm. Back to Hiya. Set her free. And I'm going to do the same thing with Sandy that I did with the Electric Ninja recruit. This just gives me raw iron, which it's hard to keep up with everything I'm manufacturing. So I always do that too. And now that Sandy has all of her armor and the incinerator, I'm going to re-equip her. She's going to be wearing heavy armor, so give her some good old heavy armor, the mask, and then need to give her a good weapon. There's a Cat 3. There's a Mark 1. There. Okay, so Sandy just went from not being in my squad to being a very valuable member, just like that. And I also want to give her a medical kit, which I'm getting really low on right now, but I'm okay. All right, she's ready to go. Now, she does need food. What I often do is I'll just feed these guys while they're in their cell. I'll just drop something on them. You see all this food here? This is all Beak thing, pretty much, or Garru, who got caught by a Beak thing, or Nomad pack animals who got caught by a Beak thing. That's where all that is. And this is cactus and wheat. And I know you're thinking, wow, how do you feed all those guys? Well, it's worse than you think. So all those guys, and only Bonzo in training right now. So, easily close to, 50 guys. You just modify your hunger ratio. Otherwise, this becomes farming simulator because I could have 5 or 6 wheat farms here, 5 or 6 cactus farms here, and I'd be fine. I'd be able to feed my guys, but I'd also have another 5 or 6 guys that can't be in these other squads dedicated to farming. And it's not like I don't have space. I got plenty of space. It's just, it really gets old feeding your guys constantly. So I turned up the ratio, and you do that in the main menu. Your advanced settings, you can set your hunger from 1 all the way up to 6, and I don't think I set it up to max, or 6 or 8, whatever it is. I didn't set it to max, but I set it pretty high so that I'm not just doing farming simulator. I can actually play Kenshi and have a large army without being constantly concerned about food. Okay, the moment we've all been waiting for. I grouped up the elite squad that I have. I did set Mo and all the other heavy armor guys to taunt. So all these guys are set to taunt. All my crossbowmen have arrows. I equipped Newt with some extra bolts, and I think I'll just go ahead and distribute them. I hate when that happens. Just drop 1 set of bolts onto each guy so they don't run out of ammo while we're trying to make this happen. So most of them will have 2 full stacks. Some of them have spent some of their arrows. He had none, or she had none. He didn't either. Okay, well, I'm glad I did that. All right, so they all have arrows now. Let's open the gates and see if we can go get in some trouble. Okay, open it. Did you know you could do that? You can open and close your gates just by clicking here. You don't have to have a character come over here and open the gate. That Really comes in handy, especially when you're in a hurry to get inside. All right. I like doing this at night, looking for bad guys, because you can see the glow. That's a goat herder, I think. All right, I'm going to run around for a little bit and get you back up when we find something. All right, not too sexy, but we did find some Garru. And you know how nasty they can be, right? Let me show you. Attack 20, strength 19. They'll really wreck a group of guys. And what's really frustrating, it's just like with Beak things, is when you have a group of guys clumped up trying to attack them, you'll have a whole lot of guys get injured. So I'm just going to have, say, I don't know. I'll start with a couple guys. I'll have all these crossbowmen spread out a little bit. Probably don't have to do this, but I don't want them shooting on top of each other. Now, a lot of these guys are going to shoot in the backs of my heavy armor guys, just because their crossbow skill is so terrible. Precision shooting is what keeps them from shooting their own guys, but they're probably going to do it anyway, which is fine. The only way to actually raise precision shooting is to shoot someone in the back, or shoot one of your own guys. So it's just going to happen. Anyway, I'll start by just attacking with a couple guys. I'm sure all my heavy armor guys will join in. And hopefully, not any of the Garru get to my crossbowmen. We'll see. I would turn off the UI, but I kind of want to see the damage. I guess it's a little bit hard to tell. Other than all the green. There's a lot of green right there, right? You see all that? Those two guys couldn't have done all that. Wow. Really? We took them all down that quick. So, took them all down. Let's loot, and then we'll find something else to attack. Now you're thinking, why Newt? Why is that the name of your guy? Well, Newt is the name of my pup that I have at the house. So, yeah, I always name my animals in Kenshi after my dogs. Either dogs that I have now or dogs that I used to have. I thought there were like 4. Alright, well, that's that. I'll go find another group and we'll do this again. Okay, so I found a Beak thing. He's over here. And we're quickly moving in. And yeah, it's only one Beak thing, but we'll find a larger group. But for right now, we're ramping up, right? We started with some Garru. Now we got a Beak thing. And then we'll find a group of them, hopefully. Okay. Yet again, I'm going to just send in, I don't know, say we'll send in 3 guys. The rest of them will all join in as well, but just to get the party started, let's go. What are you guys doing? Did not tell you to do that. There we go. There, you scoot over there. You scoot over there. Just kind of. So, couple green hits. Kind of want to get these guys out of the way just to watch the. Oh yeah, yeah. Lots and lots of fireworks going on here. Even got a couple guys not involved. Oh, he's already down. So just like that, obviously Beak things aren't much of a threat anymore. Bring everybody in, loot, get lots of animal skins and meat. So, yeah, there's kind of unlimited out here, if you're hunting for them especially. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find a larger group, and I may have to actually leave Shem to get that group. Maybe I'll find 3. If not, I'll maybe head over to the bone fields and see if we can get a real good test of this. Okay, so I have a beak thing that's just charging me. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to kind of let this run and see what happens. Okay, maybe I will, because I really don't want all of my guys getting hit. I'll send Mo in. All right. I shot one of my own guys. See that? But looks like I hit one of my heavy armor guys because as much damage as I did, 62, I guess, only 9 of it actually hit. 53 was blocked. So I've moved everybody back. I'll continue to move Mo in. That way, well, okay. Looks like this beak thing is insisting on hurting multiple people. Okay, I did that. That worked. Yeah, there's lots and lots of hits going in there that are not from my polearm guys, which is the goal. All right, now let's go find something bigger. Bigger than a beak thing. Several beak things, maybe. Okay, I got distracted again. Bunch of dust bandits. Let's just go hit them and see what happens. Probably should attack the boss if there's a boss in here. Then they'll all come running. Here we go. Newt, I know you're brave, but you're not gonna. Gosh, Newt, get out of there! What are you doing? All right, let's turn off the UI for this. Now, let us tear them apart. And I could be removing their backpacks, giving them better weapon skills, because, you know, backpacks do have quite the negative on your combat bonus. But it's not that bad. -5. Mo can deal with it. Alright. Let's try not to get distracted again. We'll see how that goes. And let's find some big things. I know, but what do you expect? Just look at all the green markers. This is why I wanted to do the crossbowmen. It's just hard to get that many guys on one enemy, and the crossbowmen just make this battle last so much shorter. So I think this is a success. Again, let's go find some beak things. I'm on my way. I really am. Look, I'm on my way to the bone fields down here. This is my base. I traveled to here. When I get down in here, we'll find some nests, and these nests will have lots of bone things in it, and we'll give it a real test. Okay, I'm not to the bone fields quite yet, but there's a group of 3 beak things right here, and this will be a better test. Didn't get much further, but I'm still on my way down there. But we will strategically plan this out and, you know, watch our best laid plans go to waste. But there we go. Mo will attack him. Dom will attack him. Manny will attack him. And then I'll just spread out the crossbowmen like I did before, just to try to give them a good angle so they're not being obstructed by anything else. And then Newt, I'll have him stand back here. And the rest of them will join in. I just want to try to stop the beak thing. Whoop, no, they're not. They're just keep on going. I just want to stop the beak things from getting to the crossbowmen. you can see there's a lot of green markers. Yeah, you see these bolts hitting now. Every once in a while I hit my own guy, but it's okay. This is kind of like the perfect scenario here for, look how quickly all three of those beak things were taken down. And that was just regular normal speed. There's nothing crazy going on here. So it doesn't matter if I had 15, 20, 30 heavy armor guys. I think what matters is that I have these 6 crossbowmen that can focus fire on the same beak things that are being targeted by 3 of my heavies. So let's loot all these guys, and then we'll head over, keep going till we get to the bone fields and get a really large group, which, you know, I'm not saying we're going to dominate a large group of beak things, but should go a lot better than just having heavies. I don't know, really. If you got heavy armor, you're not in a whole lot of threat from beak things, as long as you got a skilled group like this. But should make combat go faster. And I like mixing it up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Okay, found a large group of beak things, and I didn't have to go too much further. You can see just a little bit. But there is a nest of beak things up here. Not sure how well you can see those yet, but wanted to go ahead and start recording before I got too close. I would say there's a good 10 or more beak things. A few of them are coming at me. That's okay. We'll start with those, and then we'll probably have a bunch of others join in. Yep. Okay, so 3 of these beak things are coming in right now. You can see there's a bunch more here, even a juvenile one. A couple more here. I wonder if he's at 350. What's the juvenile have? 165. Okay, so he's like half. A little less than half. All right, here's the real test. Let's see if we get destroyed or if this somewhat works like we had hoped. So first, have everybody just kind of chill there. Then we'll have Mo, Dom, and Manny do their normal thing. And I'm just going to kind of cycle through the rest of the guys so you can see their current condition. Bradley has a messed up arm. Messed up arm on patch. Everybody else, pretty good. Right? So this is kind of the condition of my main group. This is the condition of my crossbowmen. So we can kind of do a before and after, kind of, how did everybody do? Okay, I'm going to spread out my archers like before. And let's see how this goes. Okay. Nick, you're not even fighting. What's up with that? Here comes one, that juvenile. All these guys are firing, except Nick. Nick, what's your problem, man? You don't like having a shotty? Here, let me just help you out here. Now he's in on it. Okay. We'll go ahead and loot, and then we'll move in. In case you're wondering about the hotkeys I'm using, tilde selects everybody. Then I'm just searching and clicking on new. Shift right click will move a stack. I always click beside the animal I'm looting before clicking on it, and that because your pack animals won't actually loot, so they'll ignore the command. That allows them to get close enough to loot as well, so they're within range. Okay, good enough. Let's keep going. Kind of want to hit them all at the same time, but they spread out too much. We'll have another group of 4 here. All right. Have everybody stop here. Mo, you go in. Spread out my archers a little bit. Gosh, Nick. I think Nick's my lazy guy. He doesn't want to fight. Okay. Just like that, we own the nest. Now, there were a few that wandered off over here, but obviously if they came back, that shouldn't be a problem. We'll group up, we'll loot, and gosh, I don't even have room really, but we'll figure this out. I'll say we don't have room for what's in the nest, but we'll make room. I have to drop a bunch of stuff. We'll make room. Come on, where's my group? Oh, get up here. Wait for Newt to catch up. All right. What's so special about the nest? Well, if I hold down the left alt key, all those beak thing eggs, every one of those is worth 6,000 cats, right? So definitely worth picking them up. Definitely worth dropping this. It's not like I really need all this meat, so I'm going to start dropping a lot of this foul meat, which only the Garru and the bulls and the animals can eat anyway. So, and I've really got too much meat at my base. I know this is like a sin if you're playing normal settings. You're throwing away good meat. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Mo, who's got a backpack, loot a bunch of the stuff and then transfer it over to Newt. So let's get up here. And then Mo, relatively slow, and just have him start picking up the beak thing eggs. Look at the value, 4,200. Sorry, I overestimated their value. All right, just a couple of animal skins left. Guess I can pick those up. You'll often find weapons in here too. Not necessarily great weapons, but often they're the unique or rare, more rare. See 3 beak things over there. Okay, well, let's move all this over to Newt. What was this? Oh wow, that's bigger than that area I dedicated. Let's knock out another row of this stuff. Okay, so 4,200 times 20. That's 8,800. No, 20, not 2. 88,000. Not bad for just running over to one nest. I mean, I've only got 96,000 cats to begin with, so that's a huge haul just to grab that. Okay, let's, I guess, call that a wrap. That's effective. Let's see how our guys fared. Mo, nothing there. Manny got tore up a little bit, but not too bad. A little bit there, a little bit there. Hardly anything. I think this is a really effective way to go hunting, especially creatures that can hit multiple squad members with one hit. This also applies to any of your human enemies or Shek or anything like that that might be wielding a weapon that has a lot of range, or paladins, so on. Anyway, I wanted to do this for a long time and finally did it on this early Saturday morning. So here y'all go. Long video, but I think it has lots of great information in. Let me know if you like this format. I typically focus on just one thing when I do something, but this is more of a, hey, this is real life, how I actually go through every step instead of I've already arrived at the end step and here we go. All right, we'll talk to you soon.